you have just found something miraculous. You don't plant a watermelon and get tomatoes. It just doesn't happen. So the first law of reaping and sowing is in sowing and reaping. You can juggle it around however you want. When you plant a seed, whatever that seed is, it will produce what you planted. That's why we talk to our children. We beg our teens. We beg our young adults. Guys, you may not understand. You may rebel. You may think we're crazy. We don't know what we're doing. We live in another age. You don't understand where we're coming from. I don't care when you grew up. I don't even care if you think you were abducted by an alien. I don't care if you came from another planet. The reality is, none of us are exempt from this law. You plant bad seeds, seeds of rebellion, seeds of discord, whatever it is, you will reap that in time. And that's the next thing I want us to understand. Not only do you reap what you sow, but you reap more than you sow. Have you noticed, I think it's a miraculous thing that you can plant a little seed, and when it grows up, it produces multiple fruits of its kind. You plant a little corn, you get a whole stalk of corn. You plant a little tomato plant, and you get a lot of tomatoes. Amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And it's true in our lives, spiritually and practically, that not only do we reap the same thing as we sow, but you will reap more than you sow. Always. And this is a part I don't think we get. And I'm not picking on this generation. I think it's true in my generation too. But there seems to just be a callousness, a disconnect with this idea that I can just plant whatever seeds in my life, good, bad, indifferent. I can do what I want, say what I want. After all, it's my life, my body. Have we heard that before? And just I can do whatever I want with me. The reality is what you sow, you will reap. And what you sow, you will reap more of it. And sometimes I think we have this idea that we can do things in the privacy of our lives. We can plant those seeds and nobody knows. I'll tell no one. Friend, I'll tell you something. Those seeds that you continue to plant in your life will one day reap a harvest far more greater. Did I say more greater? Greater than you can ever imagine. And the third law is this. This is what I think gets us. We always reap later than we sow. When you plant a seed in the ground, it doesn't just pop up overnight. I don't care if you just dump Miracle Grow all over your yard, your neighbor's yard, and their neighbor's yard. A seed will grow in its time, and it will produce the same fruit in its time. It will produce more fruit in its time, but it always produces later. And I think there's this sort of almost laughing in the face of God thing going on these days. After all, we can't see God, feel God, touch God. And so I think we feel, I'm just going to try this really bad thing. I'm going to do this really horrible thing. And when I do, we realize God doesn't strike us dead. Oh, hey, I went out and did this. Went home, mom and dad loved me. Went to work, boss loved me. God didn't kill me. Guess it's all right. But don't you get it? When you sow either good seeds and even bad seeds and good seeds as well, whatever you plant, and hopefully it's good seed, but whatever you plant, you will reap what you planted. You will reap more of it. And what you think does not hurt you, and you wake up the next morning and the sun is shining and everything is beautiful and you think God loves you and He does, be aware that one day something will come around. What goes around comes around, really, really true. And it will be more than you think. It's so easy to get into something. It's so difficult to get out. Good or for bad. So there's this law that we live within. The prodigal son had to learn that. He knew the father loved him, but he got to the point to where he realized that regardless of his choices, the law of sowing and reaping became a reality in his life, and he came to his senses. So let's talk about what the Father's love is. We know what it's not, but what is the Father's love? This is your next fill-in. The Father's love is a loving release. A loving release, even though it would result in a major detour in his life. Now, as we pointed out earlier, there's no explanation as far as him holding back or waiting a while. The son asked for it as his inheritance, and he gave it to him, and he went on his way. The father loved him enough not only to release him, but he lovingly released him, even though in the wisdom of the father, he knew that what his son was about to do was not only going to cause him great trouble, it would create a great detour in his life. And the father knew it. Guys, and some of you are still in high school, some in college, some are at home, some of you are young adults. One of these days you will grow up more and you'll realize what your mom and dad thought and said made a whole lot more sense than you ever thought. And one day you'll come to your senses. Oh, boy, I should have listened to Mom. Boy, was she right. But there comes also a time that you have to give your children a loving release. It's hard. It's very hard. If you don't have kids yet or you don't have children, you don't understand what I'm talking about. It's very hard as your children become young adults to at some point lovingly release them. Hopefully release them in a good way. That you've given them all the tools you know necessary to deal with life. But sometimes you sense that bit of bitterness and discontent with everything, and you know that when they go, they're going in a direction that will be an incredible delay, or detour rather, in their life. Secondly, a father's love is having faith.